Good evening, brothers and sisters. My name is Winston Wolf, and this is The After Effect. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Again, my name is Winston Wolf, and tonight we're going to be talking about the Awakening pay-per-view that happened to jumpstart 450 wrestling back into the indie scene. The very first match of the night was Brian Kennedy, the one-man apocalypse, against the man known as Rich Anderson. This match was sensational from the beginning, a good way to open up the King of the Indies tournament. However, it wasn't a good night for Mr. Rich Anderson, as the one-man apocalypse ran him down and picked up the victory. The very first one in the last 4 years for 450 wrestling. The one-man apocalypse said after his match he felt sensational, that he was happy to be back in 450 wrestling. When interviewed, Rich Anderson said that this is not over. He will come back and he will beat Brian Kennedy. And this set up a match here at Epikness 1. Rich Anderson versus Brian Kennedy in a singles match. A rebound match of sorts. This match will show the world that either Brian Kennedy is exactly what he says, that he is the one-man apocalypse, or it will show that Rich Anderson and his ability to bounce back is even greater. We will see on Epikness 1, March 26, 2017, if Rich can actually pull a rabbit out of his hat. The second match of the night was going to be none other than Eric Herrera versus Trent James. But that match did not happen because there was a backstage scuffle between our new general manager, Wolfgang Alexander, Mr. Henderson, and Trent James himself. Now, Trent believes that he still owns the 450 wrestling after buying it outright under the guise of Wolfman Inc. back in 2013. But when we came back into fruition here just a few months ago in 2017, Mr. Henderson said that he owns the company outright. Now, I've had my lawyers and company lawyers go through this, and it's actually untrue. Mr. Henderson does not own a majority stake in 450 Wrestling. It's a 50-50 ownership between Wolfman Inc. and Henderson Incorporated. So what's this mean going forward? Well, I'm sure we will see something between Trent James and Mr. Henderson, as Trent has vowed now and again that he will take control of this company again and put God amongst men into leadership roles. This could be detrimental to the 450 wrestling, as there are many men within this company who have beef with Trent James, Cash Allen, Justin Justice, and the surprise entrant into the Gods Amongst Men, Eric Herrera, who's also a member of the Society of Destruction. What's this say about Eric Herrera? Simple. As Trent James said, we are here to change the business. The only way to do it is by force. Now, who is the leader of the Gods Amongst Men movement? Some say it's Justin Silva or Justin Justice. Some say it's Eric Herrera, and others say it's somebody that's not even announced yet as part of the God Amongst Men movement. Now, what's this say about Epikness 1 and going forward? I do not know, but I'm trying to uncover any information I can to get it back to you, the fans of 450 Wrestling. The third match of the night put the cold-hearted bastard Frostbite one-on-one with God Amongst Men member Justin Justice. This match was back and forth. Both men did not want to give the other men the upper hand at all. Frostbite, signing a one-day contract at the time, wanted to prove himself to the world that he is the king of the indies. No mistake in here. He is a UCW Hall of Famer, a two-time award winner for Match of the Year and for Rivalry of the Year in UCW back in 2012. Now, Justin Justice has a lot to prove himself. He wants to get to the top of the business, and the only way to do so is beat some of the top guys in the independent scene, that being Frostbite. But at this match, he fell just short of beating Frostbite when he was pinned 1, 2, 3 and told to go to the back. That made no sense. I do apologize for that, but he was beat 1-2-3 by Frostbite. Frostbite moved on to the final round of the King of the Indies tournament. And Justin was sent backstage to lick his wounds. After the show ended, Justin Justice went to Twitter to say, and I quote, "I will not give up on the King of the Indies." Which means he's probably putting his hat back in for the King of the Indies 2018 tournament here in just under 10 months. So where do we go from here, ladies and gentlemen? Let's go right to the main event. The main event. A fatal four-way elimination match for the King of the Indies Championship. Sickle, Frostbite, Justice, Herrera. To see who is the best in the independent world. The first elimination of the night came at the hands of Sickle and the one who was pinned, Eric Herrera. Eric fought valiantly in this match, showing the world that he has what it takes once again to rise to the top of the independent scene. Our second elimination via submission at the hands of Sickle once again as he tapped out Frostbite. This match was back and forth up to this point. All the men in this ring had a beating happen to them before their eliminations. The match continued on. One-on-one. The one-man apocalypse, Brian Kennedy versus Elusive Nightmare, Sickle. Both men beat the shit out of one another, breaking open each other, bloodying the ring. But when it came down to it, there's only one man that could win, and that one man is the Elusive Nightmare himself, Sickle. He held that championship high and showed the world that he is exactly what he said he always was, and that is the king of the indies, the king of the wrestling world, the king of your nightmares. What a sensational match this was. What a sensational show that was. The Awakening, the best way for 450 Wrestling to get back into the indie scene. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Let's move on and talk about Epikness number 1. We have 4 matches signed, 1 for the pre-show. The first match of the night is going to be Brian Kennedy versus Rich Anderson. This is the Take 2 match from the Awakening. Brian Kennedy, the one-man apocalypse, stated that he has Rich's number. But Rich Anderson said that he is going to beat the one-man apocalypse the only way he knows how, and that's inside the ring and with a vicious beating. Our second match of the night puts our Duke of Wrestling champion Hector Venegas against Cash Allen, who's going to be accompanied to the ring by Trent James. Now, this is a non-title match, but this is going to prove to the world if Cash has what it takes to jump into the championship arena, especially with Hector Venegas, who has held the championship the entire time 450 Wrestling has been open. Now, who's going to win this match? No one knows. But Cash has been taken to Twitter stating that he believes Gods Amongst Men will have all the championships in 450 Wrestling by our very first pay-per-view, The Ascendance to Glory, number 4. Is this true? Can Hector Venegas actually pull out a win here with Trent James at ringside? Now, I'm pretty sure he can, as SOD will be in the building as well, and they will not want another crew like Gods Amongst Men to take over what they have already done here in 450 Wrestling and in UCW in previous years. Our third match of the night puts our Great Lakes champion Angel Laurie against the Demon Witch herself, Jennifer Enigma. Jennifer has stated that she believes that she can walk in and take the championship from Angel Laurie without even batting an eye. As many of you guys know, in 450 Wrestling, there is never a true... How do I say this? In 450 Wrestling, nothing comes easy to anybody since we have some of the best superstars in the independent scene. Now, Angel Laurie has stated that she is going to take the championship to new levels here in 2017. So that means that she's not going to give up without a sturdy and vicious fight. Will the Demon Witch pull one over on Angel Ari and get a match at Ascendance to Glory for the championship? Or will Angel Ari put the Demon Witch on the out to pasture? The main event. Our 450 Wrestling Heavyweight Champion Fury goes up against Gods Amongst Men member Justin Justice. This match is sure to set the IWC on fire. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything. Because both of these competitors have what it takes to be the main event in 450 Wrestling. Fury has not lost here in 450 Wrestling since she arrived in 2012. Neither has Justin Justice. So somebody is about to lose. Will it be our 450 Wrestling Heavyweight Champion? Or will it be a Gods Amongst Men leader, potential leader, Justin Justice, who is pinned 1, 2, 3, or submitted in the middle of the ring? Now this main event is going to be blockbuster. It's something you're going to want to watch, because I'm pretty sure SOD members and GAM members will be ringside to make sure their competitor comes out with the victory. Also at Epikness number 1, we will be inducting the very first 2 members of the Hall of Hendrickson, which is the Hall of Fame here in 450 Wrestling. Some have speculated it's going to be somebody from the SXWA, Scandinavian Extreme Wrestling Association, a former heavyweight champion, the man, the myth himself, Big Gun, has not been verified as of yet. We've also heard that members of the SOD may be inducted into the HOH. We have also got word that there's so many others on the table for the HOH. How many people are going to be inducted this year, we do not know. But I'm for certain right now, as I sit in front of you, it's going to be blockbuster. Now, the HOH celebration actually takes off the night before Ascendance to Glory number 4, which is our main pay-per-view of the year. Who do you want to see in the HOH? Also at Epikness number 1, we will see what's going to happen between Mr. Henderson, Trent James, and Wolfgang Alexander. Will Trent James pull something out of his hat and take control of the company now? Or will he sit low and wait his time? We also have a debut by the man Toxin. We've seen his vignettes over the last week here in 450 Wrestling, and now we want to see what this man can bring to the table. 450 Wrestling is putting a lot of money in these vignettes, putting a lot of money behind its superstars to show the world that we have the best superstars there is in 450 Wrestling, in the independent scene, I should say. So what will come out of the Toxin's debut? We don't know. All we know is it's going to be mind-melting. Lastly, Sickle, the King of the Indies champion, will be at Epikness number 1. He has stated on his Twitter account that he has a very special announcement to give 450 Wrestling and to the independent wrestling scene. Now, I've not uncovered what this is. Mr. Henderson, Wolfgang Alexander will not give me any information about this, but they say it's going to be a blockbuster move by the man, the King of the Indies, Sickle. What we can only speculate here is either he's going to be retiring tonight, or at the Epikness 1 pay-per-view, or signing a contract with 450 Wrestling. Now, I would like the latter, but seeing as he is now known as the King of the Indies, Sickle has nothing to prove in the independent wrestling world. He has done it all. He's conquered everything he has ever put his mind to. Now it might be time to move on to greener pastures. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in to the After Effect today. My name is Winston Wolf, and you have been verified. Have a great day, and remember, nothing is impossible.